What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it has been forever since I posted, and the biggest reason is just because I left my camera up at our camp up in the Belgrade Lakes last time we were pike fishing. And then between work and school and everything, I wasn't able to get up and get it until, I don't know, a few days ago. I mean, it was fun and all, but we just didn't, we caught one small fish all weekend. It was slow. It was slow. So no, it wasn't worth it. But we got it back now, and today we're gonna head up a new pond that's 15 minutes up the road. It's really cool. It's really right up the street. I've never fished it before. I've never gone open water with the kayak or anything. I've never gone ice fishing on it. And that pond is Bonnie Eagle Pond. It's if you're familiar with Southern Maine, it's pretty much right down the road from Bonnie Eagle High School, hence the name. There's one small like public parking lot and boat launch for access. Otherwise, it's just completely surrounded by camps. So there's no real way to fish the bank during the summer or anything like that, which makes it a really good time to go and give it a shot right now, where we can just walk across on the ice. I've seen some big bass and other stuff caught out of here using fish brain. But the biggest thing I want to check out today is panfish, because I've seen pictures of white and black crappie and yellow and white perch, among other things. So there is a lot of different panfish in here. I'm really just hoping to go out, catch something. I mean, with the amount of panfish in there, it shouldn't be too hard to catch something, find something. It looks like it's about, I don't know, between 18 and 22 feet, something like that. Obviously, panfish are gonna be wherever in the water column, so I'll figure that out when we get there. But for panfish, bass, whatever, usually the deepest point in these ponds is kind of a good place to start. But that's all we're gonna do today. We have no real agenda. We're really just gonna go try this new spot out, maybe drill around if we don't find fish off the rip. But we're just gonna go give it a shot. I'm not sure, just because I haven't been. I went once just to see what the parking lot looked like. I haven't been there otherwise, so I don't know what it's gonna look like as far as getting there, or if anyone's gonna be there. So the next time you see, I'll probably just be set up. I'll probably just get out there, drill some holes, find the water that I'm looking for depth-wise, and then I'll probably get the camera out. Especially with the snow. I mean, I don't want to have to like have the camera out and get all the camera equipment snowy if I'm gonna be drilling around looking for holes for a half hour. So next time you see me, I'm probably gonna be on the ice, and we'll probably have traps in the water. All right, guys. Sorry I didn't record on the way out, but this is a new pond, so I just want to make sure I was doing it right the first time. So we are in about, as you can see on the fish finder right there, we're in about 17.5 feet of water, and I'm actually marking a fish right around bottom right now. So I'm gonna try to get down there quick. Maybe we'll get a quick bite, but I've got 3 traps in the water right over there as well. They're all in about 16, 17 feet of water as well. If we don't get a bite in like an hour or so, we may. There's a hole right around where I am that gets down to about 22 feet of water, so I may go looking for that. But honestly, I marked a couple fish while I was checking depth on those other holes, and I'm marking here right now, so may not even have to worry about it. Maybe be able to get a quick bite right off the bat. Oh, I'm on. It just bit right off the bat. Down there for about 3 seconds. It's coming back up to check it out, whatever it is. Oh, I got him. Nope, I don't have him. God, now I'm really curious what this fish is. It came for panfish, so they're all over it right now. There's at least one fish on it. Actually, reel up a little bit, see if I can get him to chase with me. Come up. Not particularly. It's alright, we'll drop back down. Should be right over half foot off bottom. That's why I'm marking this guy right now. Oh, got him. Got whatever it is. Holy crap. Well, came for panfish. And we have panfish. Not exactly the size I'm looking for, but hey, new body of water. The last thing you're gonna do is see me complain. Well, now I understand why I was marking fish, but I'm not getting bites on those flags, because they've got regular size shiners. And we've got our tiny little white perch here. He's actually super dark, so I'm wondering if there's some weeds on bottom that make him that dark. But regardless, we're going to put him back because I'm still marking fish down there. We may have a bit of a little white perch school down there. I'm still marking 2 or 3 different fish, so that's a really good sign. Let's get a quick picture of him and get down there ASAP. Perfect. And back down. And still marking at least one fish.
Excellent. Did you bring the pop-up? You just got on the...
I didn't bother. I didn't think I'd be here for more than a couple hours, and it's not that bad out right now.
Right. Yeah, you dressed for it, and there's no wind today.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something still down there. Dropped off the map a little bit. Here comes off bottom. I'm about 2.5 feet. He's up about a foot off bottom now, so... And he's climbing, he's climbing. Oh, got him. That one's better. Oh, come on. Well, I say better. He is better. But still not quite the size I'm after anyway. But it seems like we got a decent little white perch school right in this hole, so... There is another fish marking down there, so I think we found a nice little school, which will be nice. Hey, I'm never going to complain. New body of water. I've never fished this spot before, and all I asked for was some panfish, so... If we get a couple with some decent size, I may bring them home, but... This little guy certainly will be going back down the hole. I've only fished for white perch out of my camp up at North Pond, in Smithfield, and they are normally not this dark, and to be fair, I've only fished them in the spring and summer too. With the lack of sunlight through the ice, they may get this dark during the winter as well. But I don't know, he's probably, I don't know, 4.5 inches. The other guy was maybe 3.5, so we're getting there. I'm gonna see if I can just Kobe. There he goes. Step one was definitely catch some fish, and we've definitely accomplished that. So at this point, oh my god, there's a whole gaggle of them down there. There's marking, oh god, maybe 3, 4, all at different depths. Why are you not? What is happening right now? Oh, my line's starting to freeze up. It's not even that cold out today. It's like 30 degrees. Oh my god, just go down. Another thing I learned from my buddy Uncut Angling is just to kind of rile the fish up a little bit. If you can get right on bottom and stir the ground up a little bit and catch some fish's attention. And now we're back up at about 2 feet off. Oops. And we're marking. Sitting right below me. It's really hard to tell. I may have to adjust the transducer just so I can kind of see what's what a little easier. He's definitely checking it out. Oh yeah, he's all over it. God, oh, that was a good bite. That was a really good bite. He's still on it though. Let's see if he'll bite one more time. That was a solid strike. Either a really aggressive fish or a bigger fish. Right at about 2.5, 3 feet off bottom. It's a good solid mark. 2 marks now. One right on bottom and one about 2.5 feet off. I've actually made it to this point that I can't even see where my jig is. Okay, so I was right actually on that good fish. I jigged up a little bit. And now they're both off the map. Here comes another one. He's coming to check it out too. Got him. We got another little perch. Yep. He's about the same size as number 2. Maybe I'd give him maybe another 1/2 inch. Nothing crazy. And there's still another one down there. You know what? I'm going to try something crazy. See if I can count this as a double up. We're going to leave you right there for just a minute. There's a good fish down there, so I'm going to drop. Oh, come on. I'm going to drop this guy down. It's a 13 fishing Magic Man on my little Berkeley Lightning setup. Come on, go down. If it's a... This guy might kind of snuff out the little bit bigger fish. There's something down there coming to check it out. He'd have to be either pretty big or pretty aggressive to hit this guy, though. I'm just going to see if I can quickly double up. And I'll put this guy back. There's a couple down there. With this guy, since the vibration and the large movements is what catches their attention. I'm just at its lowest, this guy's going down to about 3 feet off bottom, and then I'm jigging it up to about 5 feet real quick. Get that rattle. And if they're interested, they'll usually hit it on the fall on the way back down. I've got a couple interested parties right now. As you guys saw in, I think, my last video, I can't really remember at this point, but the brook trout over at Otter Ponds really loved this thing, so. And they were feeding pretty aggressively at that rate, so. If these guys, I mean, it's the middle of the day, so these guys may not be feeding as aggressively. A couple of them down there, though. Just not interested. Alright, let me leave it there for a second, and maybe they'll bite it while it's just sitting there. I'll get this poor guy taken off. There we go. Alright. Not really gaining much size here, but I'm not ready. Ow, there's that barb I was talking about. But I didn't ask for size. I just asked for fish. Now that, I mean, I know there's some big bass in here as well. It'd be kind of fun to catch a good bass on this thing. I've never caught a bass on a jig rod through the ice. I've caught bass on traps and stuff, but never on a jig rod. It would be a fun fight for sure. With all the perch activity in the area, I mean, I put definitely some really small hooks and some small shiners on these traps. I'm surprised one of the traps hasn't gone off yet. They're in pretty much the same amount of water, but honestly, there may be a little shelf right behind me farther off. These perch are kind of just hanging out, or I might have just gotten really lucky and found a school hanging out. The world may never know. I'm really just making sure. I'm going to put this worm on there, but I really want to make sure those hooks are, and especially the barbs, are exposed, because especially where these fish are pretty small, I don't really feel the bites. I want to make sure they get at least one of those hooks in there. Follow me off bottom again? You are. This was happening last time I was out fishing. I had a bunch of brook trout who would chase, but really weren't interested in biting, and that may just be the time of day. They're not feeding very aggressively, but or this guy in particular just wants to be a dickhead. Oh my god, there's so many fish down there right now. Alright. So I forgot. So I have my tripod. I was going to set you guys up over there on a tripod, but I don't have the tripod fitting for the GoPro. So I've actually just got you guys angled up on the chest mount. That way you guys get a different angle if we happen to catch one more fish, and I can zip up my jacket because I had the GoPro attached to the hoodie underneath. I don't know if I found a good kind of 18-foot flat, or if I'm right on a contour line or what, but there seemed to be whether they're hungry or not, there seems to be a fair amount of action in this little area that I've picked, which is kind of fun considering I just used a pretty basic public depth map of the pond. I don't pay for any applications. I didn't use like FishBrain Premium or anything like that. But I know panfish will kind of be all over the water column, but for the most part, like bass, they'll find themselves in deeper water during the winter. So I can pop up a little picture of the contour map I used, the depth map. Look, this side of the pond, and it's deeper, and that, I don't know if you guys can see, but that point behind me to my right or left, inside that point, so from that point to me was the deepest point. It was anywhere from 18 to 24 feet. So I figured anywhere in this cove here, or just off that point, would be a decent place to start. And if nothing else, we found some pretty small panfish to bite the jigs. The traps haven't been very successful, but settled back in around 2.5 feet off bottom. A lot of times if I don't have the fish finder with me, I'll tend to go straight to about a foot off bottom. Mostly if I'm just in shallow jigging for brookies, because if you're only fishing 10 feet of water or less, then even if you're right on bottom, the fish is most likely going to see your jig anyway. But the fish finder is really nice, especially when you're fishing for different species and you get into more water. It takes a lot of that guesswork out. I mean, if I see a perch in the middle of the water column, I can just reel right up to it. Without the fish finder, I would have never known he was there. But between 1 foot and 3 feet off bottom is usually a good place to start if you don't have a fish finder. A lot of people wonder about jigging, but there's no real rhyme or reason to it, at least in my experience. You kind of just try different stuff out and figure out what the fish like. If they kind of like a slower, more subtle presentation, if you're getting a lot of bites or a little more action like that, then just kind of keep going with that. But with this Swedish pimple, I tend to get a lot of bites just with these quick, very short jigs like this. It's pretty much just enough to wobble that Swedish pimple, and then that worm is pretty free flowing. Every once in a while, I'll give it a big heave, bring it up 1 foot or 2, just to catch a fish's attention, maybe draw something in. But for the most part, I just kind of stick with this type of jigging. Oh, that's a fish, 100%. Marking now. I couldn't really tell, so I gave it one of those big heaves just to see what was what down there. And my jig obviously came up, and there was actually still a line right there, so there was a fish right on plane with my jig. A lot of times if these fish kind of come to check out the jig, especially if they come right off bottom up to check it out, I'll kind of go like this, just jig slowly upward, see if I can get him to chase and get a reaction strike out of him. He's dropping off the map, dropping back down. Like I said, the same thing happened to me a couple weeks ago. There were fish all over the place, and they kept coming right up to the jig, but none of them would commit and bite. And it was pretty much the same situation. I got there and I was fishing, and I caught a couple really quickly, and they shut right off for whatever reason. Take some of that worm off. That may seem counterintuitive, but I just don't like how big of a presentation it's coming up as, especially where most of these fish seem pretty small right now. Coming back up to check it out. Honestly, if this is telling me anything, it's just telling me they're not super hungry right now. They'll take a meal if they can, but they're not willing to chase it. You know what I mean? They'll start to kind of follow it and then just give up because they're like, oh, I'm not all that hungry. I don't really want to put in the effort. He's starting to move a little more aggressively. He's darting right off bottom, straight back up to 3 feet where the jig is, and he's kind of going like that. So he seems much more interested now than he was. He keeps dropping down and coming right back to it. See if I can get him to chase up now. He followed me up to about 4 feet. And he's coming back down. It is odd. But like I said, my only thought is that they're just not feeding right now. They'll take a meal if they can, but they're not going to go after it. So this is the game that I usually play when it's time to leave for ice fishing. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. Every mark adds a minute to the time, and every fish we catch adds 5 minutes. If we hook up and lose it, we'll add 3 minutes. So starting now, this is rally cap time. We're in the last 10 minutes. Every mark adds a minute. Every fish adds 5. And we'll actually spice it up. If we catch a fish and land it, we'll add 10 minutes. Because I'd like to think if we catch another fish, we'll have this little school going through and we can catch a couple at a time. It's clearly what happened earlier. I just happened to drop down when a little school was passing through. Oh, there's a mark right off the rip. So add a minute. We're at 2 minutes. He has absolutely no interest though. Oh, there's a mark. Add a minute, and he's coming straight up to it. And drop right back down again. What is going on? They got the equal parts have a ton of interest and then none. Like he literally, within a second, came up to 3 feet and went right back down, and now he's coming right back up. I'm gonna count this as, I don't know. I feel like I should count it as more than one mark, but it's just the same fish still. Oh, that's 2 fish. It's already 2 more minutes. I equal parts kind of want to head out, but also I want to catch at least one more to just kind of cap it off. The equal parts have a ton of interest and they almost immediately lose the interest again. It's so just odd to watch. Oh, there he is. All that effort for one more tiny perch. There's another one down there though, so the school might be passing back through one more time. And if that's the case, I'll stick around. And there's our timer. So, actually I'm not even gonna, knock it off, bub. Look at our prize. So this is what we stuck around for. So what do we have? We had 2 marks and a fish landed. So we're gonna add 12 more minutes and stick around. Oh yeah, that's a good mark down there right now. And I'm watching the fish I just caught is dropping straight back down. So I'm watching 2 more fish, but I won't count marks again until I get down there to actually catch one. The nice thing about the walk back is it will certainly warm me up. He's back. My feeners are pretty cold, but I'll get everything packed up. I'm not gonna put those traps away neatly right now. I'm just gonna toss them in there. I'll deal with them, clean them up later tonight when I'm in my room when I'm warm. I really was unsure if I wanted to get out there today. On the one hand, I'm really glad I did. I was going to hit up a new spot, catch some fish. But I've definitely learned to not trust the weatherman. They said we were going to see a little bit of sun today, but that wasn't the big thing for me. The big thing for me was that the snow was supposed to stop around 11 o'clock, and I didn't even leave my house till 11:15. And I didn't think we were supposed to get wind either. But here we are. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, he came straight off bottom. I'm up around 4 feet. Oh, he came right up to it. Darted off bottom. He wants it. Oh, he's chasing. Holy crap. That's the most aggressive fit. Oh, got him. That was the most aggressive fish I've seen all day. He came straight. Another small little perch, but I just said I was pretty much done, so this is going to be actually a really nice capture of the video, I think. Yeah, I had my jig up higher than I had been. I was up around 4 or 5 feet off bottom, and he came straight off bottom, right up to it, so he was pretty clearly hungry. And there's our timer, actually. That's perfect. Should we name this guy? He's our last guy. Last guy of the day. Last fish. Open thy mouth. We're going to call you Simon. Alright. That's actually going to do it for now, actually. We're going to say bye to Simon, and I'm going to just pack up. I'm going to put the camera right away while I pack up just because of how cold it is. I'm not going to feel like vlogging. Next time you see me, we'll be doing some sort of outro. I'll be somewhere that's warmer than this. But for me and Simon, we say see you in a few minutes, I guess. That is going to do it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I know it wasn't like the most exciting video ever, but honestly the goal was just to fish a new pond and find some panfish because I knew there was so many in there. Otherwise, I don't know, it was probably pretty short, but definitely expect content being pushed out a little more frequently now because the biggest reason I wasn't is because I just left my GoPro at camp and between work and class, I just wasn't able to get up there and get it. I mean, it was as simple as that. I was doing a bunch of fishing. If I ever get to one of these points again where I just don't have my camera or I just don't bring it for whatever stupid reason, definitely follow me on my Instagram. I'll link it in the description because no matter what, if I catch a fish and I'm ice fishing, I always post on my Instagram. So definitely follow there. Also this week, I'm starting a outdoor blog in collaboration with my college classes. But once this video goes up, my first couple posts on the blog will be up. So I'll put that in the description as well. It's 207 Outdoors, same thing as this. But it's through WordPress. So if you are interested in, it's mostly going to be a fishing blog, but it's going to be outdoors in general. So I'm going to be posting some hunting stuff there as well. And if you're interested in any of that, you can, it's kind of like subscribing. You can put your email in, and then when I post, you get notifications in your email that I've posted. And each week, I'll post at least two blogs a week, and they'll have different topics. So, and there's also a way to go into that blog and if there's any topics you want me to talk about specifically, you can actually request them. And I don't think I'm gonna get a ton of people to follow the blog, at least off the rip, but if there's anything you guys want me to talk about that I don't talk about on the channel, then go over to the blog and put some requests in, because I'll definitely, like I said, I'm gonna be doing 2 blog posts a week at least for the next 8 to 12 weeks, something like that. So I'm gonna have plenty to write about, and there may be a week where I pick something that you guys want me to talk about. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Later.